So moving on to the wide receivers on this team, with Dionte Johnson now with Carolina, uh, does George Pickens, is he now going to be an alpha wide receiver? Is he the guy on this team?
So I really, really like him with Russell Wilson. I think this is a great combo. Now, we know in Arthur Smith's offense is going to run the ball a lot. And I think if the Steelers defense can perform how they're supposed to perform, right? Like the Steeler way where they lock down on defense, TJ Watt getting sack after sack, like they are going to lean on the run, but there's really nobody else there to take targets away from Pickens. I mean, I like Roman Wilson, the rookie. I'm sure we'll get into him in a second. But besides that, they traded away Dionte Johnson. Pat Freiermuth is a guy that gets some targets, but why I really like George Pickens with Russell Wilson is because last year, actually just throughout his career, Pickens has struggled to separate, right? Last year, he ranked third lowest in average separation per wide receiver among wide receivers with 75 plus targets. But the thing is, Russell Wilson's so good at targeting those guys. Like think about the Cortland Suttons and the DK Metcalfs and like those type of players he's been so good at targeting. But since 2018, Russell Wilson leads the NFL in pass touchdowns on tight window throws. And also like has the second best passer rating in tight window throws as well. Most pass yards per attempt on tight window throws. So I think this is like perfect for the type of wide receiver George Pickens is. Just throw it up to Pickens and we know he's going to come down with the ball.
Yeah, I think that the match there is kind of an interesting one because like he does fit the perfect YOLO kind of mentality that like Russell Wilson has historically clicked pretty well in. And George Pickens in his 4 games without Dionte Johnson in 2023, 20.4 yards per reception, 2.76 yards per route run. He was targeted on just under 26% of his yards or routes run. Like he was the focal point of the offense and he was productive when doing so. And I think he gets a huge upgrade at quarterback in terms of a guy who's both successful in throwing downfield and more willing and to do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, George Pickens is currently he's going off the board 55th overall. So that's what, 6th round, roughly, end of the 5th round. Do you think he's being overvalued right now or undervalued?
Definitely undervalued. I'm shocked he didn't move up higher once they traded for Russell Wilson, once Dionte Johnson get traded. I thought he was going to spike up boards and he hasn't. So if he stays where he's at, he's going to be on pretty much all my teams.
Here's the thing though. I think people are still waiting for the shoe to drop in terms of like trading for a wide receiver. And I think there's still rumors that a big trade could be in the mix for the Steelers. And I think that's kind of like people just waiting for the shoe to drop. Obviously, like George Pickens, very talented, a very high upside wide receiver, but like not a guy that I think everybody pegs as an every down type of dude. But, there's still that possibility, like Brandon Ayuk not coming to terms with this contract extension with the 49ers. So like maybe there is still a possibility there. You have DK Metcalf, like who the Seahawks haven't necessarily turned down a trade for, but financially it doesn't make sense for them until after the June 1st deadline. So like, I think if this, a trade for a secondary wide receiver doesn't come to fruition, I do think we are going to see that draft capital spike up. But again, I think people are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. It feels like the Steelers aren't done yet.
Yeah, so basically wait until August, see if any moves are made, and then go get Pickens if they don't do anything, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy.
I feel like if they don't do anything, he's probably going to be a wide receiver, top 15 wide receiver at the worst.
Yeah, right? I put him at like wide receiver 15 is his floor if they don't make another move.
Yeah. Wow, I am severely undervaluing him, and I got to reevaluate my whole life now. Jeez.